Hi there. I'm live today with a really important question that I was asked this week, which was, what colour should I paint my windows? Grey or black? Okay, well, I'm Jane. I'm a chartered architect. I'm a registrant, RIBA Conservation Register accredited registrant, and I am an eco refurbisher on the Green Register list of eco refurbishers. And I am the founding director of iArchitect and specialise in helping homeowners turn their period property into comfortable homes that suit a modern lifestyle and using eco-design techniques which will help protect the planet. So this question, what colour should I paint my windows? Well, on the face of it, it seems a bit of a simple question, a shallow question, and perhaps just whatever you like would be a good answer. It's up to you what colour you have your windows. But it is a good question because it raises lots of different things that you might want to take into consideration when you're choosing colours, perhaps for your windows and your door, maybe for other things as well. There's lots of opportunities for choosing colours in your home, and there are lots of reasons why you might choose one colour over another. So first of all, perhaps you want to question, what are you trying to express with your window choice? Do you want to be seen as being an individual and have your home look different from all the others, or are you wanting to conform, and do you want your home to show people that you're part of the community and the colour of your windows is matching everybody else's? So what colour are your windows? What colour should your windows be? This is a great question. So why white or black or grey? Those are the standard colours that are used, and the person who asked me this question said, what colour should I colour my windows? Should I have them grey or black? So at the moment it's really fashionable to use grey and starting to be a little bit more black as well. White is what most people have. White is what most UPVC windows come in, and that's it's just a standard colour that you get, and that is the standard colour that comes in at the standard basic price. And if you want anything different to that, then you're paying a premium for it. So most people just go with the white. And then now, if you wanting to say, okay, make a statement, and you're saying, well, I paid a little bit more for my windows and my house is worth more, and want a bit more value of my house, well then more and more people are starting to choose grey. And then when you're paying that bit extra and you're going for the steel crystal windows, for example, a lot of people installing those are using black. And there's nothing wrong with those colours. They're sort of neutrals, they go with anything. The history of sort of the colour of windows is quite interesting. So at one time people would just paint the windows whatever colour they wanted, really, and then Queen Victoria died and everybody painted everything black. And then at some point in the 20th century, I would say, people started to paint things white because it was brighter, reflected more light in, and those sorts of things. So these neutrals of black, white and grey are all fine. That if you're wanting a colour palette that will pretty much go with anything, then they're pretty good ones to go for. And these days, the anthracite grey, which if you're wondering what colour it is, that grey that everybody's using, it's called anthracite grey. That colour it goes with everything. If you look at colour theory and the colour wheel and how different colours go with each other, you can go for harmonious colours, which are colours that are adjacent to each other on a colour wheel, or you can go for complementary or contrasting colours, which are colours which are opposite each other on the colour wheel. Well, the thing with grey and white and black is that actually don't really have any colour in them. White is an absence of colour, technically, and black is a full saturation of all colour. and then grey is somewhere halfway between, really. So they're not really colours. So you can use them in any way you like, and you don't need to worry about them not quite going with another colour. So let me know in the comments below, what colour's your windows? Or what colour would you like your windows to be? Are your windows the colour that you want, or would you like them to be a different colour? And do you think neutrals are best? Yes or no? So another reason why people might choose one colour over another comes down to perhaps religion or superstition. For example, in Greece, you probably will have noticed, if you've been there on holiday, or even if you've just seen photographs of Santorini and all these beautiful places, you'll notice that a lot of the buildings are white, and the vast majority of doors and windows are painted blue. So there's quite a lot of theory behind why this is, and I'll go through a little bit of that in some of these examples. But one of the theories is that the blue wards off the evil eye, so it's a superstitious thing. You know, it could possibly have something to do in relation to Christianity, and related to blue being seen to be the colour of the Mother of God, Mary, and she often is depicted wearing blue. A lot of the reason behind that is that blue was a very expensive pigment, so it was used in this religious iconography because it was an expensive pigment, so it had that a certain quality to it, you know, and to say that, you know, this is the Mother of God, so she was really important. So perhaps, you know, you've got some particular beliefs, and a colour has a particular meaning to you, that you might want to use that colour for that reason. And if you have, I'd love to know about it. Leave a comment below and let me know if you equate any particular colour with any superstition or any religion that you have or believe in. Or, well, for example, a good example of this is black cats. You know, is a black cat lucky, or is a black cat bad luck? So another possible reason why you might choose one colour over another is because of a law. Again, going back to the Greek example, it's believed that the dictator Ioannis Metachas, I think he was called, said that everybody had to paint their walls white and their woodwork, windows and doors blue. And that was the law, and everybody had to do it. And this is like, you know, it's a bit, well, obviously dictatorial because he was a dictator. But, you know, there's a lot of places in the UK as well where there is a colour palette, and you have to stick within that colour palette, and you don't have a choice really outside of that. You can't pick any random colour. You have a limited palette of colours, and those are the colours that you're allowed to use. And perhaps there's a you know, this can be a good thing. You've got conformity of colour. You get in terms of the neighbourhood, you get a common use of colour, and it can look more beautiful that way. And I have heard people say, you know, if you're choosing the colour of your front door, what you should really do is go and speak with the neighbours who live opposite to you and ask them what colour they think you should choose, because they're the ones who are going to see it more than you. Okay, you want to be excited and happy to arrive home, and you want to like the colour of your front door or your windows, but once you're inside, you don't live with it, do you? It's the people opposite you who are going to see it mostly. So perhaps you should be asking your neighbours what colour they think your front door or windows should be. So let me know, is there a restriction on colours where you live, and what colour palette are you allowed to use? It would be interesting to know, and where is that? Another possible reason for a particular colour is just because that's the colour that the material comes in. Certain colours are just naturally occurring colours, and certainly going back again to the Greek example, the walls being white just came from whitewash, which is made from lime whitewash, and that is white. And so you're using that natural material and it comes out white, and actually it's very good in the Greek context where it's very hot, so it can get very hot, and the white is reflective of heat, so it helps to keep the building cool. So it has a function as well as just being a natural colour. It's not really chosen. It's more just a function of the material that's used, and the material that's used was used for many different reasons, but as a finish to the building that helps to protect the fabric of the building, and also has that effect of reflecting heat and keeping the inside cooler, more bearable in the heat of the Greek summer, and certainly pre-air conditioning days that would have been a benefit. Other natural colours, you can get natural dyes. Things like onion skin creates yellow, and all these back in the day when people were really restricted to naturally occurring colours from pigments and in chemical reactions that take place with natural materials. People were really restricted in the colour palette that they had, and so for those harder to find materials and more complex processes that were perhaps not known by very many people, those colours, so blue and purple in particular, were symbols of high status because they were a lot more expensive. So and that's not really so much the case anymore, because with the chemicals that we use now to create lots of the colour pigmentation, there's not such a great variation in difference in cost between one colour and another. So it's doesn't really signify that much in terms of status. But maybe you think that one colour does have more status than another. That'd be interesting to know. Do you think that using one colour more than another makes you appear more wealthy, and is that a positive thing? That would be great. Leave a comment below and let me know. And then another possible reason is from emotional impact. Colour can have an emotional impact on people. So there are lots of studies into the psychology of colour. Things like greens and lilacs are supposedly relaxing colours, whereas reds, oranges, they are much more stimulating colours. Traditionally, dining rooms were painted red because it supposedly stimulates your digestion. I don't know how much truth there is in any of this, but it's very interesting, and I have certainly tried this out in some of the colour schemes that I've put together in the past. Maybe you have a particularly strong emotional reaction to a certain colour. I've heard of studies in psychology of colour, and I have looked for the reports on this, and I just wonder if it's a myth because I haven't been able to find any of the reports. But there was supposedly a study done in a prison, and they painted different cells, the interior of different cells, in different colours. And as far as I understand it, one of the results that came out of that was that the cell that they painted pink had the effect of calming down the prisoner much more quickly initially. So I would love to know if there is a report, if that study has happened, and if there is a report knocking around, I'd love to see it. If you have seen that and you know anything about it, please leave a comment below and let me know where I could find that, because that would be really interesting. Do you have a favourite colour that lifts you up, or makes you feel amazing? Again, I'd love to know what that colour is and how that makes you feel. And so ultimately, choosing colour, I think, is really just a personal choice. You can decide, do you want to create a message with your colour? Is there a reason you want to use one colour over another? And you could look at different ways to justify your use of colour. But what it really comes down to is your personal preference. And so think about not just that item, so your windows, but you also want to consider if that is going to have an impact on your choices for other colours. So that might be in your garden. I had a design workshop this week with lovely clients, and they were looking at garden design, and their home has got anthracite grey windows. And so with their garden scheme, they're looking at colours in the plants and foliage that are going to pull in that grey from the windows and fit well with their building. So again, you might not want to restrict yourself in any particular way, or you may have a particular preference for how you want your landscape to look, and so you might want the colour of your windows to also match that in some way or contrast with it. Similarly, for your interior design, the colours that you want to use inside your home will be affected by your windows. And then you have the other question: do you have a different colour inside to outside for your windows, or do you have the same colour inside and outside? So these are all different questions that you can ask in relation to your colour choice for your windows, and the answers to these questions are going to help you decide which colour you want to go with. Personally, I really like blues and greens. To me, those are neutral colours because the sky is blue, the grass is green, and yes, in terms of colour theory and colour wheel, yes, okay, there are issues with red and green. Red and green should never be seen, but go to a park, look at the green grass, look at the blue sky. Well, when we have blue sky, and I think you could treat those as neutral colours, and there are so many shades of blue and so many shades of green. So my personal preference when I'm selecting colours is to use something more along those lines. Quite frankly, I'm getting a bit bored of grey, and white is just, in the right circumstances, yes, but come on, it's been a bit overused, I think, so I would rather see a bit more colour. So let me know, are you brave enough to start using more colour in some of these features rather than going for the standard grey, black and white? I hope that this has been an interesting live stream for you and brought some questions and different things to consider when you're choosing the colours for your windows and doors and other elements of your home. I'd love to know what you think. If you have any more questions, please let me know. I'll be back here next Friday at 1 p.m. and I look forward to speaking with you then. Okay, bye for now.